step away. Coming up next, with Chelsea off to the perfect start, we'll hear from the senior player at Stamford Bridge. Yes, it's John Terry on the telly. Next. Chelsea have made a perfect start to the new campaign, but arguably the most important piece of business they did over the summer was keeping captain John Terry. Just how close was he to leaving? Well, ESPN's Rebecca Lowe caught up with John Terry recently.
I'm just going to briefly take you back to the summer, just briefly.
Yeah.
How close did you come to leaving?
No, I didn't. Listen, it was never an issue for myself. It's been a bit disappointing because people, you know, in the back of their minds thought I was possibly leaving or something like that, you know, and to spend so long at Chelsea Football Club and for people to not know me as well as they really should do, you know, sometimes can be a little bit disappointing. But, you know, I've been here, I love the fans, I've got a great relationship with them. And as I say, you know, missing out on the Champions League, these are the things I want to win for Chelsea Football Club, and that's why it was so important and it took so long. I've been here since I was 14 years old, and for a club to come in and make an offer for me, I was very honoured by that. It's the first time in my career that somebody's come in and made an official offer for me. And when Peter Kenyon phoned me, you know, he said the club wasn't interested. I told Peter I wasn't interested in leaving anyway. You know, I just wanted to sit down with him, Roman, Eugene and the people around the club, you know, to find out the manager in the summer and sit down the future plans for the people like Didier, Ashley Cole. I wanted to make sure that these people, you know, Chelsea were looking to secure their futures, and thankfully their ambitions was as high as mine. And sometimes these things, it was difficult to tie down Peter, myself and Roman all at the same time. And eventually when we done it, that's when we decided to come out and speak. But before then, we couldn't come out and I couldn't say nothing. And I had an agreement with the club that I wouldn't be saying anything, and neither would they, until I was 100% sure these players were staying.
And that's it, you're here forever?
I'm here forever. I was always here forever.
During the Mourinho era, if you did fall behind, it was that feeling that you would always come back and win. Maybe over the last couple of seasons, that feeling around Chelsea, that sort of invincibility, the unbeatable feeling has slipped away slightly. Do you feel it's back?
I do feel it's back, and I feel as though for 2 years, you know, we maybe did lose that a little bit since Mourinho left. And that's nothing to do with other managers coming in. That's something that comes from the players and within. You know, the players are feeling very strong at the moment. When you hear people talking, you know, it's early days and we have started well, but people are talking and fearing us again. You know, and that's by the way we're playing, how strong we look. You know, we're in great physical condition as well, and people can see that. You know, if people are thinking that and we're thinking that deep inside, you know, it's going to do us well.
Carlo Ancelotti, so much has been said from yourself and from other players about his impact here. Can you sum him up in one word?
One word, very difficult. You know, he's a very good man. You know, what he brings on the field and off the field is just fantastic. And you see, you know, it's a new lease of life for players that maybe wasn't involved. You know, at the back end of last year, the manager's come in, he spoke to everybody. You know, it's a new chance and for us to go again. You know, he's a great man tactically. You know, he's won major things as a player and a manager. And if we can emulate that again here, you know, that would be fantastic. But it's a few more than one word, I'm sorry.
That's all right, I'll take it. And lastly, if I gave you the Premier League trophy there and the Champions League trophy there, what do you think your reflex action would be?
Oh, that's too difficult to say. You know, it's a very difficult question for me to answer because it's been 3 years now, Man United have won the Premiership, and I desperately want that back. You know, to see them lift it, and you work so hard, you know, in the league to go, you know, 10 games unbeaten. We went away from home last year and still ended up losing it. So when you fight all season long for that trophy and you see Man United and the players on the pitch lifting the trophy and you've had them experiences, it's so difficult. And then, I promise it's too difficult to say. You know, Premiership will be the bread and butter for the players, but I think the ultimate is the Champions League.
That was Rebecca Lowe talking to John Terry, and a man who did a lot of talking to John Terry in the early part of his playing career, our very own Frank Leboeuf. Frank, go on, deep down, dig down and tell us now, honestly, over the summer, did you have any doubts that John Terry would continue to be a Chelsea player? Oh, we're always interested in what you've got to say for yourselves, so let us know. ESPNsoccernet.com is the place to go. Look for the press pass link, some lively forums and discussions. You can also post some questions to our experts. Frank, last word for you, your performer of the day. Who are you going with?
I'm going for Mr. Carasso. Big pressure, former Marseille goalkeeper, now play for Bordeaux. Had a terrific game tonight, and yeah, I have to go for him. Fantastic goalkeeper.
Yes, big part in the shutout of Marseille, Cedric Carasso. Tommy, who's your pick?
Sergio Semak for Ruben Kazan. They sit on top of the Russian league. There's one of the reasons, and maybe they're going to trouble Inter and Barcelona in the Champions League, but nice goal from Semak.
Tommy going Russian. You don't take that route very often, you know. I'm going the more usual route of a performer in Italy, Divine Diego, ripping Roma apart. Those were the headlines, Tommy. You can't argue with them, can you?
Now, he certainly put on quite a performance.
Diego's double, my performer of the day. My thanks go to Tommy and to Frank. Join us for more tomorrow. Tommy returns, and we'll have Robbie Earle in the studio too.